Welcome to From the Concrete, the series that recognizes pioneers, innovators, trendsetters, and most of all, the next generation of changemakers by giving them their flowers now. I'm your host, Brianna Elmore. Today we have yet another amazing guest of the pod, Stephanie McFarlane.
Hi,
Stephanie. Thank you for being here.
Very excited to be here.
Oh my God, we're so excited to have you here. I'm about to read this bio because, baby, you understood multiple assignments and we're about to talk about it. After graduating from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts, Stephanie McFarlane completed the 2018 HBO Access Writers Fellowship with her writer partner, where their pilot, Sterling, was selected to be shot as a pilot presentation. Stephanie went on to be staffed on Netflix's First Kill and, girl, I gotta catch my breath, and CW's Legacies. Shortly after, she served as supervising producer on BET Plus's Average Joe, producer on Starz' Heels, and wrote on Apple's Me. Stephanie McFarlane is currently a supervising producer on CBS's FBI and has a pilot in development with Indian Meadows Productions. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thank you. You did that. You did a great job.
First of all, you did a great job. This is amazing. We are so excited for you to be here.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
Yay. Okay, well, are you ready to dig in?
Yes.
All right, let's get to
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's start with getting to know more about what led you on your path in getting to the root. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to do a little planting and a little talking, okay?
Okay.
Very simple, very cute, very demure.
Okay, we love that. We love that over here.
We love it over here.
Yeah.
So what would you say was the defining moment that got you onto your path in writing?
So, funny story. I was at NYU at the time, and I was undecided. Mm-hmm. My people are Jamaican, so it was very much doctor, lawyer, and I knew I didn't want to do any of those, right? And at the time, I was like taking all these classes and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And the only class that I realized that I liked was my creative writing class. And it was to the point where it was like I was skipping econ. Don't tell nobody. I was skipping my econ lecture. I was not going. Every week I was like, I just can't go. But I was at that 8 a.m. And 8 a.m. feels so early in college.
8 a.m. is crazy in college.
It's
man.
crazy.
Listen.
But I was there at my 8 a.m. on a Friday.
Oh,
I was there.
A Friday class period is already rough and tough.
I was there. I'm trying to tell you. And so I remember I came back from class one day and I was on my dorm bed and I was staring at the ceiling and I said, clearly this is the only thing I want to do with my life. It was just more so like I watched movies, I watched TV, but it never clicked for me like, oh, these are jobs that people are doing. Yeah. And not only that, these are jobs that you could be doing.
Yeah, was like even growing up was like that the thing that your parents would be like when you were on punishment and in trouble. Was that something that was like you cannot watch TV for X amount of time?
Of course, TV was always like, oh, you're watching too much TV. Like you can't spend all that time watching TV because it was always just like something that people spoke about negatively. They didn't speak about it artfully. So there was never a time that I was like, oh, when I grow up, I can write. No. Writing was always a hobby. It was something that you do on the side. I had my little notebook when I was a kid, walking around in recess, writing things. But that was always a hobby. But when I was at NYU, it opened my world up. Yeah. I said, oh, this could actually be a career.
You were like, this is the only thing I'm even trying to deal with.
This is the only thing I'm trying. That was the only class that I was like, I'm really paying attention, like really, really trying. And once I decided that, I honestly, I did a Google search and I said, what jobs can I do writing? Because this is what I want to do. And then I found screenwriting. And then I taught myself how to write a script to apply to Tisch.
Oh,
to transfer.
wow.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Listen, shout out to the self-taught baddies out here.
Yes. I was like, I cannot do this for the rest of my life.
And I think that that's important to know. And it's like also very good on you because a lot of times people get they're in school and they just like, I'm going to just ride till the wheels fall off. I don't really know what's going on.
Yes.
I don't really care. But you were like, okay, hold on. I really don't care about econ. You know what I mean? I got to get these like, you know how they make you take certain courses or whatever, but it's like past that, it's like I'm not trying to really do this.
I was doing all of that stuff, but when I really sat with myself and I said, what do I like?
Yeah.
Like, what am I excited about? What am I passionate about? It was only writing. It was just about, you know, what avenue was I going to take writing? But I knew for a fact that I was like, writing has to be a part of my career in some way.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. I always love when we see somebody just seeing like a purpose and feeling like it's one. Yes. And then when you kind of step into it, it hits differently. Yes. And luckily you did that in college because a lot of people do it after, you know, and then they really got to start from a different perspective. Yeah. So at least being in college, you can kind of cultivate and just like really utilize that experience. You know what I mean? Because it's a very specific time in your life where other stuff can kind of pause so that you can focus on it. So I think that that's amazing that you were just like in tune with yourself enough to figure it out.
Absolutely. And I've always just been the person who's like, once I set my mind to something, you can't stop me.
Yeah.
There's no stopping me.
Period. We love that.
Yeah.
And so how did your time at NYU prepare you for your career in Los Angeles?
Okay. Honestly, it did and it didn't, if I'm being honest. So it did in the sense that I feel like NYU taught me how to write scripts and analyze the visual art form, just in general, like film, TV. I feel like when I left NYU, I was an artist. So NYU did teach me to be an artist. However, when you transition from, you know, you're in school, yes, you write scripts for class. Once you transition into the entertainment industry, there is a whole other side to being an artist, a professional artist, that I feel like I didn't have the opportunity to get that from NYU. I had to like learn on the job.
Yeah, because it's like,
it's a business.
Yeah, and it's like they don't care.
It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. And we didn't learn anything about really the business side of things. You know, there are certain aspects of the entertainment industry, especially as a writer, that I feel like we need to know. We need to know about branding and marketing. And yes, you need to hone your voice, but also how do you actually create like an effective sample that's going to get people, you know, to sign you or to get you into a room. Like that type of thing wasn't really, you know, pitching as well. That's a big thing, is pitching.
Listen, and then it's like you're going from being an artist, and then it's like you can't focus on the art as much as the business.
Yeah, there's a balance. There's definitely a balance, but I do feel like NYU was all about the art, and I loved that. And I think for that time in my life, I do think that is what I needed. But girl, when I got into this industry, I was like, now, wait a minute. I'm like, I have to know how to pitch what? Pitch myself, pitch my ideas, pitch an idea in the room. Everything is like, you have to know how to sell, you know?
Yeah, and I think that also, like, you leaving and having so much confidence in yourself, I'm sure that helps. But then also, how do you keep your confidence moving when it's like a pitch isn't landing or, you know, because everybody will try to tell you who you are.
Yeah.
And it'll mess with you. So how did you navigate that space?
So when I first got into a room, I'll say this right now, I got into Legacies right out of college. I was 21 when I was writing for this show. I had huge imposter syndrome, which, you know, if you don't know what that is, that's when you are currently in a situation that you feel like you don't deserve, right? And so what happens is you are looking around like, I feel like I scammed everybody. Like, okay, yeah, I wrote
Not
a
scam.
script. I wrote a script, but like, why are y'all talking to me like I'm supposed to be here? I just did not feel that sense of confidence I feel like I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because I was so young.
Yeah.
I was younger than everybody, everybody. I was the youngest person anywhere I went. And it was a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of pressure on myself.
Mm-hmm. And then do you feel like you have to prove too, right?
Yes. You have to prove, you know, you're black, you're a woman. There's so many different things that is already on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you add like, okay, first writer's room and your age and all of these other factors, a lot of pressure was on me. And now I know I place it on myself.
Yeah.
But the way that I grew into my confidence, honestly, was through getting my mental health stable. I had a lot of anxiety, but through therapy and all of that, I was able to ground myself.
Love some therapy. Okay, you're going to see this all throughout this podcast. We love some good old therapy.
Go to therapy.
So you've managed to rise through the ranks from staff writer to supervising producer. First of all, that's pretty freaking huge. And also, it's like 2018 was not that long ago, okay? Definitely remember where I was at and what I was doing in 2018. So what skill sets best served you in navigating the different levels in responsibilities of those different roles that you've occupied?
I would say one of the biggest things was work outside the room.
Mm-hmm.
There was never... It's like when you're in a writer's room, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, you have the room, you have the 10 to 6 or whatever it is that you're in the room. But once you go home, that work does not stop.
Yeah, because you still like, okay, you guys go and beat this out. Mm-hmm. However, you have to go home and write it. You know what I mean? Or you have to try to continue to move on.
Okay, we left on a question, right? You're going to go home and you're going to think about that question. You're going to do the research and then you're going to come in the next day and be like, I have this many, I have 3 ideas on how we can fix this. Mm-hmm. Even if those pitches don't land, people see the work ethic. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because you came in here with, and I think the biggest thing from what I'm understanding about writers' rooms is like you always have to be solution driven, right? Because it's like we know what's not working.
Yes.
But why? Okay, it's not working, but what's gonna work? Because we don't have time. Yeah, so it's like you have to come with 3 more solutions. And okay, though don't work. Okay, well we know a different direction to come. And we're going to come at that. We're going to come at it full speed with this type of thing in mind. Yeah. So I think that's amazing that you were like, yeah, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. That's the first thing. Second thing I'll say is pitching, learning how to, 2 people can pitch the same idea. Mm-hmm. 2 people can pitch the same idea.
Yeah.
And it's received a different way depending on who said it, how they said it, right?
Yeah. So and I was going to say, as a Black woman, did you often have did you have experiences where you were the initial person to say something and then somebody else like remixed it and you were like, that's what I just said?
Of course. But that happens in rooms all the time. It really does because everyone's talking and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, we just repeated something that somebody said. Like that happens all the time. But really it's about like learning your showrunner and how do you pitch to that particular showrunner? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of it. And then the third thing I will say is just always learning. Mm-hmm. Like, I truly believe the second you think that you know everything, that you figure everything out, you are in huge trouble.
Yeah.
Huge trouble. Because everyone that I have worked for or everyone in my room who I've looked up to, they are constantly always being like, they're not afraid to be like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's ask. Like, just having that sense of humility, I feel like goes a long way too.
Yeah, and it also kind of helps with the cohesiveness of the group, of the whole group that is in the writer's room.
Yes, it does.
Because it's like, okay, well, we're finding it out together.
Yeah.
So that doesn't like make somebody feel inferior for not knowing. And it's also like, okay, well, now we're all invested in figuring out whatever this solution is.
Yeah.
So I think that helps a lot, actually.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Well, I love those answers. Oh my God, you're just so good. When writing on other people's projects, how do you maintain your own voice as a creative, but also still be in tune to whatever the project that you're working on is at hand? You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Question.
Yeah.
I understand the question. It's just, I don't know if we're going to like the answer is all.
It's okay. But listen, that's why the question's asked. You give us the answer, whatever it looked like.
So basically, when you're writing on a TV show, right? Mm-hmm. Your job on the TV show is to write in the voice of your showrunner. Mm-hmm. It's to mimic the voice of your showrunner and write in the tone of the show, everything like that, right? So for me, I feel like my voice may come out in like episode pitches, like when my writing partner and I come to the room and we say, okay, we have an idea for an episode and we pitch. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that's coming from us. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the actual writing, my job is to make sure that it's in, the show's voice, not mine. Yeah. That's where you have to put your ego needs to go to the side. If you want to be successful, for sure.
Yeah.
You need to know when to put it to the side because it's not your show. Yeah. You're helping create someone else's show, right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm in rooms, when I want to make sure that I'm still like fostering my own creativity, my own voice, I write outside the room. Okay. So I work on my own projects outside of the room, which is a lot of work, but at the end of the day, if you're a writer. I'm a writer. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah.
And it probably has to feel very cathartic to be able to just be like, now I can write what I want. Or, I get to call the shots because I do think that being in this industry, it's just a lot of like, just continuing to raise in the ranks. But it's like until you're able to be the person making those calls, if that's what you desire to do, then it's like, okay, well, you do still have to have some type of agency and you can take that and explore that in your own writing and just continue to build your portfolio.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I do because when I'm at work, I'm like, no, like I don't need to. If the show is not funny, why am I going to write a joke? I don't need to do any of that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm here to make sure that the show that I'm working on is as good as it can be, but very, very, very mindful that it's someone else's voice. Mm-hmm. And I'm perfectly fine with that because I can work on my own stuff on my own time outside of the room. That's fine.
All right, I got a last question for you.
Okay.
So you carved out an impressive career for yourself in the TV industry. What other aspirations do you have? Because, I mean, like, girl, you're doing it all. What's up with that? Like, leave some for somebody else.
Oh, my gosh. No.
Period. There will not be a crumb. There will not be a crumb left.
These are aspirations in the TV industry.
Yeah, or
I mean,
really,
we're all
period.
doing
Yeah,
because everyone wants their own show one day, right? So I definitely see myself show running eventually. Want to get into film eventually as well.
Yeah,
and just sort of, making that step towards like branding myself as a creator and not just like writing on staff,
Yeah, it's like really you just want me on the team because I can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I definitely want to make that transition to this is a creator, not just a writer producer who works really well on staff, which I love that too. But obviously one day.
Period. She does it all.
One day I want to show run for sure.
I love that. Now, you've done so much in your career, but we would love to know how you fill your own cup in, pour into yourself. Are you ready?
Yes.
So we always love it. And so, but before we get into how you pour into yourself, I'm literally going to pour some tea up for
Oh
you,
my
because this is also where we spill the
gosh.
tea, we get the tea.
Ooh.
So yeah, I want to know. We're getting there. We're going there. So let me get your mug, and I'll pour you up a little bit.
Thank you. You know I'm Jamaican, so I love tea.
Yes, we love a good tea. Let us know how we did on the tea.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to get to it. So, working in this ever-changing industry, how do you pour into yourself?
So I believe there's like 3 pillars, right? There's
Yeah.
physical, there's mental, there's spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
So for physical, I make sure I am in the gym. I go to yoga. I just make sure that I'm pouring into myself in that way so that I have energy. It helps with everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel good, all of that stuff. Mental, like I said before, I go to therapy. And that is a non-negotiable for me. I have to be in therapy.
Yeah.
I have to. And then, spiritual, I'm talking to God, meditating, all of these different types of things just to make sure that I have some sort of spiritual connection, because I feel like that's the only way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you can really stay grounded in your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then other than that, I just make sure that like I'm constantly just like doing the things that I love. So like I said, I'll write on my own. I'm with my friends, with my family,
Yeah.
all types of stuff. Even if it's just like, I'm going to call my grandma today and I'm going to talk to her for an hour. That alone fills my cup.
Yeah.
That alone will fill my cup for the entire day.
Oh, I love that. And I think that it's very important to figure out what is your best grounding mechanism, right? And I love that you have kind of like a toolbox of different things that it's like, okay, we can figure out what's the combination. We can figure out what makes the most sense for me right now. Ooh, right now I don't know what's going on. Let me call my grandma real quick,
Yeah.
or right now, I don't know. Maybe I need to get out and go to the beach or something.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you need to do to try to navigate whatever space you're in. So I'm a therapy girly too.
Yes.
And if you know, therapists love giving you tools. What's one of the most helpful tools that you've gotten out of therapy that you like to use?
So this was more so during the strike.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously when the strike happened, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And work, unfortunately, big part of my personality.
Yeah.
Big part of my identity, big part of my personality. And so when I wasn't working, I was not feeling the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I made a list of everything that makes me happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And working was like one thing on a list of like, I couldn't even tell you, maybe like 15, 20 things. I think I stopped at like 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then out of all of those things, I said, okay, now what can I control, right? And, it was things like the beach. It was things like getting a workout in. It was things like when I get to see my friend and we just like kick it on the couch and watch a movie. It was things like that. And it was like, okay, what can I control? Those are things I can control. I can go to the beach.
Yeah.
I can go take a walk. I can go to the gym. I can go see my friend.
And even at that time, you have more time to be able to do those different things. So
yes. And so once I started to decenter my identity so much from work, even though it is a part of who I am, like I love being like an ambitious person. However, at that time, when I started to actually put into perspective, like, okay, there's so many other things that make me who I am, and I can do all of these. There's only one thing I can't do right now. I can do all of this. I said, well, let me turn my attention over here. I can still work, do what I want to do. But once I started moving over here, I was like, oh, it really is a choice. Mm-hmm. And that's what I learned from therapy. Like your happiness.
We love a good therapy come into.
It's true though, because you can choose. I could choose to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not working. yeah, all of that still exists, whether you do that or not. Whether you decide, oh, I'm going to sit here and wallow and like cry and all, all of that still exists.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, am I going to be sad about that here? Or I'm going to be sad about this when I can like go watch a movie with a friend.
Yeah.
And get some joy. Or when I can go take a walk on the beach and actually clear my head and feel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that it helps too in the creative space to know that you're more than your creativity, even though it's so personal and it's so like intertwined with yourself. So it's hard to break those two things apart, but you are much more than that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl. These gems are getting dropped left and right.
Oh my God.
But also, I think that that's very important because you do have to water your plants. Literally, I'm gonna water mine too. But but you have to water. You have to water different plants and different seeds in your life. You know what I mean? Because also, it's like these are the things that make you happy. And they may not have been getting as much love as the writing. You know what I mean? And so now that you had that change in perspective and the opportunity and the time to be able to nurture those different things, I'm sure that felt very fulfilling in that time.
Yes, it's true. It was really what I needed was to really just, like I think when you're working so much, sometimes you can neglect yourself because we're so focused on like, all right, where am I going? What am I doing? How is what I'm doing getting me to where I want to go?
Yeah.
It's just, you feel like you're in a constant race all the time. And then when somebody just like put a stop sign, like you want to sprint and somebody was just like, stop.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
but not only a stop, they put like the little spiky things on the ground. Like you cannot keep going.
You simply cannot keep going. And so that's when I really was like, okay, this is a time for me to refocus. And I feel like, honestly, I learned balance during that time. And I brought that into when I started working again. Now I feel like, okay, I've achieved more of a balance simply because that strike happened.
Yeah.
Simply because of that.
Sometimes there's some purpose in some pain. You know what I mean? It was like, even though that was a mess.
Talk about it.
Much of your social media presence revolves around you mentoring aspiring writers, which you are doing right now, and industry professionals. So how has pouring into others helped you show up for yourself?
That's a very beautiful question. Okay, I like to talk, so I'm about to tell you something because it's coming up. It's coming up, so I'm going to say it.
Let them use you.
Yeah. So,
yes, daughter, let's go.
Okay. So we've mentioned things that I've accomplished, right? And obviously there was a time that I was like, oh my God, like I just really, 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 really want this, right?
Yeah.
And then I get what I prayed for, right? But the thing that stays with me is the fact that like my family calls me every week when they watch the show. They send me a picture of my name. Oh my God, the show was so good. Like just talking about it, like, oh my God, I was telling my friend about you. And then I remember the day that like both my grandmothers were like, yeah, I watched your show and I was telling people at church and da-da-da. And for me, it blows my mind that I'm like, my grandmother's both Jamaican, right? Didn't have much.
Yeah.
And now they see their granddaughter's name on TV.
And a grandma like to brag on their babies. So.
Of course. But that to me is what it's about. And so when I went into social media, I actually went into social media during the strike because I was like, I still want to connect with writing. And I was trying to teach. I kept getting rejected. I was like, man, I'm a dude.
Yeah, it's like I still can teach.
Yeah. Like I kept getting rejected from different programs. And, I said, all right, I'm going to just go on TikTok and I'm going to just start doing that, right? And just like how I said, oh, like with my grandma, that's what actually matters to me. That, like my TikTok platform and like meeting people like you and like talking to these people DMing me, asking me questions, that's what actually matters to me. Like I have received so many messages of people being like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, to see like a Black woman, a young Black woman doing this and that. Like, I love to see this because I didn't see nobody.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah, or even being transparent and just feeling like, again, being in community, I think that's an important step, right?
Yes.
Because people just can limit, even though like people can limit to you to a credit, right?
Yes.
But it's like, no, I'm a human and I had all these other things happen to get to the credit, you know, or to get to anything, you know?
And so I say all that just to say, like, that's what fulfills me. Like, I'm already showing up for myself by passing some stuff down that, like, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different things that, like, I'll make a video and be like, you know what I wish I knew? You know?
Yeah, because it's like, it's important. These are things it's like, had no clue this was a thing. It would be good for somebody else to know so they don't, you know, stumble if they stumble. You know what I mean? So they don't have to be surprised at the very least by this being a thing.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then I'll also say that I feel like, again, social media is me showing up for myself already because, like I told you, I was getting rejected.
Yeah.
I was getting rejected from teaching at the time. So social media was me proving like, no, I can do this.
Yeah. And also now you can teach from a deeper place because you can share more of yourself. And it's like, even when you're teaching and doing, you have curriculum that you have to follow. And, you know, it's like different guidelines on how you can share information. And so like with utilizing and building your own platform, you get to literally create that curriculum, right? And then you also get to share yourself and choose how much you share, you know, or if you share it all.
Or if I share it all. It's all, for me, it was all about proving things to myself as well. You know, you need confidence to post on social media. You need confidence, you need discipline. And like you just said, it is a creative expression. So even though, yes, it's not technically writing, it's still a creative outlet. To film, to put a video together. I mean, you edit, you color, you're doing everything. You know, you are essentially producing.
Figure out the lighting. You figure out what you about to wear.
Yeah. All of that stuff. Yeah, that already is me showing up for myself, for sure.
I love that. And I just love that you showing up, like, we get to enjoy that overflow of you showing up for yourself in different ways and exploring those ways. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my gosh.
Now, let's get a little wild and a little nosy in Wildflower, a rapid this or that game. Are you ready?
I guess. We'll see.
So we're going to start. You're going to go ahead. You're going to pull.
Okay.
And then you're going to read it to us, and then you're going to answer.
Okay. Writing or dance? Oh. You guys did your research. Let me find out.
Listen.
What? Because, you know, I was on a dance scholarship in high school. So dance was like that was one of my first art forms. I'm gonna say dance.
All right. Listen, we appreciate dance.
I'm gonna say dance. Because to me, that's when you feel free. Like, with writing, it can be kind of like cerebral. You're always in your head. Thinking, With dance, it's none of that.
Yeah, I can see that. Hit an 8 count. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Let me know what you want to see.
Film school or fellowships?
Fellowship.
Wow. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I think the fellowship. So when I got into the fellowship, the first thing that the program director told us, she said, we're not here to teach you how to write. Clearly, you know how to write. We're here to teach you business.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a crash course. Honestly, it was from everything from like, if you're in the elevator with somebody that you want to introduce yourself to, what are you going to say? And then we had to like craft out what we would say. And then it was like, okay, if you're in this type of setting and you want to introduce yourself, what are you going to say? So we had like the elevator pitch. We had, if it was like, okay, you get like more than just an elevator, you get, 2-3 minutes with somebody. Then it was also like, what's it called? Elevator pitch, 15-second pitch, and then like when it came to meetings, there's so many different types. I didn't even know what a general meeting was, and so she broke down like this is what a general is, and then this is what you would do in this meeting. This is what an agent meeting is. When you meet with an agent, here's what you should ask. When you meet with a manager, here's what you should ask. It was all this, and then so many cool people came and talked to us. Like,
oh wow, I love that they give you these like. It's almost simulations, but it's so you can know how to carry yourself.
Yes.
And really, it's like it's so you can be forward tough. You know what I mean? Like, so you can figure out everything you need to do in any situation. Like, you can pivot into it.
Yes. Yes. I say the fellowship for sure.
Ooh. I love that.
Network TV or streaming? Y'all really okay? Hold on. This is an answer. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're not gonna hear this from everyone. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is real. Okay. Network TV, for me, I prefer it because I'm the type of person who likes job stability.
Yeah.
If you like job stability, then you need to go network TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Streaming is like you work for 20 weeks, sometimes 10, and then the room is done and you're looking for another job.
And we don't know what's going on, if it's going to come back or any of it. Yeah.
Network TV, I mean, we started in May last year, still going until first week of May this year. So
you know you're locked for a year, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also when it comes to money, like there's at a certain point you get paid per episode. Obviously you get paid weekly, but it rounds out to like per episode. And so if your rate, whatever your rate is, you're multiplying it times 10.
Yeah.
If you're on a streaming show. And you're multiplying it by
22.
22.
Yeah.
If you're on network.
Yeah, I was going to say 22 sound a little better than 10. Yeah.
Y'all can clap that one.
Listen,
I said what I said.
We'll double clap back. Look, I'm not mad at that at all. And again, it just has like you're able to kind of just build rapport too for a longer time. It can help you when you're networking and building relationships.
And network is still sending you to set, and so you get the producing experience. A lot of streaming shows are not doing that now.
Yeah.
And so it actually helps you in your career because once you get to producer level and you've never been on set before, everyone's like, well,
well, what do you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. So
yeah.
I definitely, and because of the fast pace, it really teaches you this is how you make TV.
Yeah, and I think you have to do like a quick rewrite or, you know what I mean?
Everything.
If you have to do all the above.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, it is such a machine.
It's a crash course.
It's a crash course. I always encourage people to go network.
Ooh.
At least once. You have to.
Listen, I'm taking notes. Like, I'm telling you.
Solo travel or group vacation? Oh, I'm a solo travel girly.
You don't wait for it to come out the group chat.
It takes too long.
It takes way too long. And then it's just like everybody be like, yeah. And then they just slowly start like falling off.
Yeah, because the thing with me is like, oh, if you mention a flight to me, I'm like, all right, so when are we booking it?
I'm on the site.
Yeah,
what's going on?
I'm like, well, I just looked.
What time of day are you trying to go?
when are we doing this?
Yeah, and I feel like solo can just help you, you know, be like, you can just do it yourself, you know, and you can take it at your own pace as fast or slow as you like.
Yes, and that's why I love it.
Yeah. I love a good solo location. All right, I got your last one.
Okay.
I think I know this answer. Curls or braids?
Curls.
I knew it.
Yeah.
We got the curls for the girls.
Even though they do what they want to do.
They literally have their own identity.
Yeah.
Do your curls have a name?
No. Do yours?
Because Tabitha Brown inspired me to name her. I named it Diana. You know what I mean? Because Miss Ross, she do what she wants.
It's true though. You wake up and you're like, I don't know what type of day I'm gonna have.
Please.
It all depends on when I take this bonnet
It's all, when I unravel these twists, what's gonna happen?
We'll see.
We know that no one can do this alone, and give them their flowers. We would love to know who is inspiring you.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
So, Stephanie, who would you like to give flowers to and why?
Okay. So, my personal life,
Yeah.
I would say my grandmothers for sure.
What do you call your grandma? Yaya, Nana, Granny?
I say grandma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come
Just
on,
say
grandma. Shout out to grandma.
Yeah. I mean, both of them really strong. In my opinion, strongest women I know. Yeah, strongest women I know. And then my parents for sure, because, you know, when I told them I'm going to switch my major and Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a TV writer. Okay. Now that I'm older, I know that must have been like, you're doing what? Huh?
What is going on? Yeah, they're like, you've lost the plot. What's happening?
Yes. Oh, yes, very much so. Very much so. But, you know, they've always been supportive. So them for sure. And then in the industry, I would say my writing partner, his name is Bryce.
Shout out to Bryce.
Shout out to Bryce.
Shout out to Mama and Granny and them too.
Everybody. Yeah, shout out to Bryce because honestly, could not have done anything without him. Nothing. None of I would not be here.
We love a real friendship, bonding, love, real friendship. We love it. Well, I think that's amazing. And also, in the spirit of giving their flowers, we would love to conclude this episode by giving you your flowers, okay?
Oh my gosh. Nothing was right there the whole time.
We love it. We love that they be like hidden.
Thank you.
In a card.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Listen. Okay, so you're amazing, first of all. And we are so inspired by you and your work, your message, and how you rose from the concrete.
Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And before you leave us, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
Well, I mean, the only thing is, first of all, you can follow me at Talks with a TV Writer on TikTok and on Instagram. And very soon, I'm going to be dropping master classes where I'm going to take y'all through how to write a pilot, both comedy and drama, so that you can get your samples together. Because I told you,
girl,
they rejected me.
Again, do you stop? My Lord, okay?
Me. I know.
And now that's their biggest regret, okay?
That is my biggest fuel.
Yeah, I was like, your biggest fuel, it should be their biggest regret, okay?
Yeah. So it's just going to be like masterclass format, you know, just like the website. Yeah, so I'm just going to be teaching. There's going to be different episodes where I'm going to walk you through how to make sure that you get that pilot ready. We're going to walk through how to outline, how to get to first draft, rewriting, everything.
That's amazing. And it's all very important. So, yeah, definitely lock in.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Everybody lock in.
Yes.
And so thank you, Stephanie, so much. This has been an amazing and lovely conversation. Like, I've enjoyed you so much. I'm not going to start crying. I'm going to chill out. I'm going to get this.
No, please don't cry.
And so and we'll see you all next time on the next episode of From the Concrete.
Yay! Thank you, guys.